Welcome to another edition of the Automodeler Magazine show brought to you by the Luka Productions. With this episode, we have the pleasure of talking with the founders and promoters of the NNL West Model Car Show, the largest model car show gathering west of the Mississippi. Roy Sorenson and Rex Bardon are going to share their experiences in conceiving the NNL Western National Show and the challenges and successes of 40 years of model car show promotion and camaraderie. Hey, Rex.
Hey.
Hey, Roy.
Hey, Scott.
All right. Thank you for having us here. We just wanted to talk to you and learn about what happened with the NNL West. And I know it's 40 years this year, and this is the closing year of the Sundown Show. So I think that there's a lot to know and enjoy about this show. I brought some my old magazines sitting right there on the thing. If you want to use some of these to get started, I think that'd be great. Before we start, do you want to say, how did you guys decide to start this show?
Several years ago, we've been in 5 different venues and 25 years at the convention center. Just got too big and had to move to bigger venues.
That's a good
And
problem.
one year, we got in trouble with the fire marshal because we had too many people in the room, and he said, "Okay, one guy comes out, one guy comes in." I said, "No, we can't run the show that way." So with a little wink of the eye, he said, "Okay, we promise next year to have better control."
Well, actually, we moved into the convention center.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when you guys finally had to go to the convention center?
Yeah.
Santa Clara Convention Center.
For about 20 years, it was a 2-day event. Saturday was the model show and Sunday was the swap meet.
Oh.
But we had trouble both financially and finding manpower to volunteer 2 days, so we moved everything into one day.
I remember the swap meet opened up early in the morning. If you were a vendor, good things happened.
Yes.
Well, when I first started show, me and a buddy, Kevin Drake, did the first show together. We wanted to do something that would be more than just model cars on a table. We wanted to have prizes and awards and, do it up big time. And the first show was at a local park. You rent
Outside?
No, you rent the building at a local park.
Uh-huh.
And we went and saw it during the day, and it was beautiful. And it was, one side of the place was glass with light coming in. And we thought, oh, this is great. And then when we had the NNL, it was in the evening. It was, got dark early. It was like very poorly lit. It was lit for like a cocktail party.
Oh. How'd those models show up?
It was tough to photograph. But it did kind of reinforce the laid-back atmosphere, And then Dick Carroll showed up, which was a total surprise. We used to have...
Dick Carroll's in that magazine in your hand.
Yeah, this is the magazine that Bob Woolley and I did after 5 years of NNL West. It's kind of an anniversary issue. And it's got pictures of Dick's cars in it. He even brought a set of his Dick Carroll tires.
No.
And everybody's like, can I buy it? Can I buy it? He's like, no.
No. We're looking for him. We're looking hard for him.
Yeah, I think the main reason he showed up was we had our NNLs the same weekend as the Grand National Roaster Show when it was in Oakland.
That's
and then
right.
that way you can have both the NNL and go to the Grand National Roaster Show for that contest as well.
And that's when it used to be at Oakland.
Right.
Yep.
And then we had a lot of crossovers. A lot of the celebrities would come to our show. And so it worked out good until we got to the point where... what year was it we went to Oakland Road?
Hilton?
Oakland Hilton? We went to Oakland Hilton and...
The show from hell.
It was terrible. People would call us, all the people that normally come from like out of state, from back east and stuff, they're like, we're not going to murder capital.
Oakland. Oakland.
Which it was right outside the airport. It was fine. But it was like right across the freeway from the Grand National Roaster Show.
So, yes, but
we don't want to go to, Oakland. And so we never went back to Oakland.
We presumed we would go get 24-inch tables for the swap meet.
Yeah.
That's what the vendors want. But they turned out to be 12-inch.
12-inch. They were like little side
Yeah,
tables.
And then would they just stack them high?
Yeah.
No, they were all laid out.
What are the vendors supposed to do? They can't work with this small.
Oh no!
So, like Boy said, we never went back to the
Yeah.
open.
But thankfully, our show's so profitable for the vendors that it didn't hurt us. You know?
Okay, good.
They all still went home with smiling faces,
Oh.
you know. But yeah, we've had some things like that.
We used to travel out to back east, the NNL East, and
You guys did.
Yeah.
when he had his magazine, and they
The
would,
Plastic Fanatic.
yeah,
Right.
and they would say, "Well, we have 900 models," and we would say, "Well, we can do 1,000 the next year,"
I know.
and they would say, "Well, we can do 1,100," and I said, "Well, we can do 1,200."
There's a little friendly competition there.
We all know the guys. It's a
So-
tight-knit community, so you
Yeah.
know.
What was the most that you guys ever got at a show?
At our show,
Yes.
we had over 1,200 models.
1,200 models. That's going to be close to 500 or 600 builders.
It was 500 builders.
500 builders.
Yeah. And
Wow.
500 models. Randy Vandres, who was very involved early on with the NNL West, his dad worked for Ford.
Mm-hmm.
And the San Jose Mercury News did a story about growing up Ford, and Randy put in a bunch about the NNL West show, and it came out in the paper just a week before the show.
Nice.
So the local attendance went way up, and that's what shot our numbers up.
That's awesome. Yes, local publicity does help.
Yes, it does.
That's cool. So you had it was you and Rex, of course, you and Rex and you, and then you had Randy.
They used to say the 3-hour show.
The what?
Robert, Rex, and Randy.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you guys were like the main, right?
Yes.
And then you had another whole group of people that were given smaller jobs.
On the day of the show, yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, like, what's something that, like, if I said, "Can I help you guys?" What would you have me do?
Lay down the butcher table for the
Butcher paper.
butcher paper. Yeah.
Butcher paper.
For the dollar
Oh,
table.
Escort the vendors to the tables.
okay, okay.
Because we number all the tables, and then we have somebody with a map said, "Okay, you go to table 4, you go to table 17."
Or at the end of the day, help clean up.
help clean up.
Help clean up.
Because
Yeah. It's like a $500. You know, they tag you for $500 if you don't leave the place clean.
Oh,
So,
like you thought,
that,
like
that would
nothing.
wipe out our profits.
so we pretty much police ourselves. We never
Yeah.
had any issues.
Yeah.
Most of the vendors are real good about cleaning up after themselves. So
Like you guys also have raffles.
yes,
Sometimes some pretty extravagant stuff.
Yes.
How's that work?
we sell a lot of raffle tickets. It covers a good portion of our financial cost.
Okay.
But we give 5 tickets away to every paid admission, and at the end of the day, we've had 300, 400 tickets in the tumbler.
Yeah. We usually have anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 on the raffle
Really?
table
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
to give away.
To give, yeah,
And a lot of it's from our sponsors,
and a lot of it from vendors.
and a lot of it are from vendors from the swap meet. They donate to the raffle
Two,
table.
3 kits here and there.
That's cool.
We used to have a charity for either Red Cross or the Earthquake Vision
Earthquake victims.
victims, and
Lately, it's been Wounded Warriors.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
we've been doing Wounded Warriors for about the last 8 years.
That's a good one.
Between the raffle tickets and the admission fee and the swap meet, we usually have a budget of like $10,000 every year to run
Wow.
the show.
Well,
And the last couple of years, it's been going down. We're losing money.
Wait,
So-
the budget goes up, or the how's it work? So your income is not 10,000 anymore.
No, we don't have an income. We're nonprofit.
You're nonprofit.
But
Oh,
it
you're
costs-
nonprofit.
It costs $10,000 to run the show.
Right.
And the main big hit lately has been that the convention center used to provide the tables.
Mhm.
Now we have to contract out the tables and the chairs,
And
and,
that's-
they have like tripled in price.
And
Yes.
that's what's eating your
That's
profit.
Yes.
what's eating it up.
And did that lead to the decision, like, okay,
That
we're,
was
it's
part
time to give it up? Was that
part of it, and part of it is health issues, and we just can't get the volunteers like we used to.
Yeah, the older people. I hate to say it, but the older people are dying off.
Yeah.
And you know, a sad example of that is Andy Kellett, our event chairman this year,
Yes.
just recently passed away.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Like,
that kind of put the emphasis on what we were thinking, that we're getting older and less young people in our hobby. So it's hard to find people to help us out.
we have less, but I feel like we're getting an influx of kind of like 30s people that are getting interested.
Yeah.
But we don't have that large group because we're all that group.
Yeah.
and so it is harder.
I think the lowrider all car people
Are
really
well represented.
have really brought in, because their whole bit is familia, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have the whole family involved, and the younger guys are picking up on it. And you know, every year at NNL West, there's some amazing lowriders there.
You can't see me, but my jaw is dropping
Yes.
because they are crazy good.
Yeah,
A lot of people used to say, well, doesn't it take 4 to 6 weeks to put the show on? I said, no, it takes us 12 to 14 months to plan for the next year. And they
Yes.
just don't realize that. Oh,
And-
they can throw this together in a month.
Yeah.
No.
So you have the like you have the Santa Clara Convention Center as
Right.
your venue. Then you have to get your vendors, and you have some people that are repeat, but not everybody. I'm guessing
no, we get new every year.
Every
new
year.
vendors every year, and you don't know what collections are going to come out of the wood.
No, it could
Exactly.
be airplanes, tanks, cars, whatever.
Ah, okay.
Well, and again, I hate to be morbid, but a lot of the people who pass away, their collections come to NNL West
Oh, is that right?
to be sold off.
Yeah.
The family
So-
brings them.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We've had as high as 7 new vendors in 1 year.
That's
I
good.
think this year we got 3
Uh-huh.
brand new ones. They've been as a spectator, but never as a vendor.
And so they came and they go, oh, I've got this in the garage, they're in the attic, they're in the basement.
Right.
And they've been there for years. And I think I'm going to cut loose with them, and they
Yeah.
bring those out.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that people get really excited about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you don't see them very often.
Yeah.
We've had one vendor, he came out from Illinois on a train because he doesn't fly. And he put everything in crates, came out here. And he came up to me at noon and said, I'm all sold out. Can I leave? Sure. And the
Wow.
show opens at, 9? And he was sold out by 12.
That's amazing. Has anybody approached you guys about trying to pick up the mantle for you?
We've had some interest.
And is that secret stuff, or is it just when they learned what it took, they were like, whoa,
I think
Yeah,
it's,
usually, yeah.
yes.
yeah.
They,
Well, you know, we don't own the copyright on NNL West.
so anybody
So
can
if
use it.
anybody wants to keep doing NNL West, that's fine. I support them. I'll come to your show. But, you know, we don't own the copyright on it.
So anybody can do it.
Anybody.
And yeah,
And so,
But what we don't want is we don't want it to go down the toilet after all the years of building it up.
so you want to hope it keeps going.
Yeah.
But you need a younger, aggressive showrunner with a
Right.
small team.
Right.
well, the problem is like you said, that I've had a lot of people contact me, and then when you tell them it's a $10,000 budget and it takes us all year to do it, and they're like, oh, well, maybe not.
Because nobody has 10 grand right up front.
yeah, yeah.
And you have to get those tables and chairs.
Right.
Yeah.
But you could, I mean, it sounds like if you can get tables and chairs, like you're not going to make a living off of it.
Oh, no.
Never.
But it's still going to rotate. How come?
I think we've had people call both us and say, I would like to know where you guys are going to continue it. We aren't, but if you guys want to.
There's a
Boys-
big difference between having a show at the boys' club, at your local boys' club for a day, and putting on a show in a convention center in a big city.
Right.
Because the further you go out the city, the cheaper it gets to rent a hall.
Right.
But you won't get the draw.
Because the
Yes.
city brings them in.
Yes.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
And the fact that we're near Levi Stadium, the football stadium, and we're near Great American Amusement Park, all a big draw.
We're near airports. It's so
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
state people, it's easy for them to get in and out.
So,
And it is a nice location. If
Yeah.
you can't see me, but if you've ever been to that, you want to go to this one because the convention center is very nice. Places to eat. You can go relax. There's hotels all around you, and this is an international show. Is that correct?
pretty much.
Yeah.
We get people from Japan, Sweden.
Yeah, I
The
know.
Bahamas.
I know of Mahler's coming from England and Japan. So
This time,
yes.
Yes, but the repeats.
what's that mean?
No, the guy from England is.
Okay, the guy from Japan's been here before.
Yeah. The guy from,
What are your classes this year? What are your special awards? What do you?
well, the
Yeah.
themes.
Correct.
The themes for this year are log roofs.
Okay.
So stage wagons, deliveries.
Okay.
whatever.
Hot rods.
Yeah.
We're pretty much known as the hot rod show.
Mm-hmm.
Back east, like NNL East, not so much.
Uh-huh.
They're not much into that hot rods. They're more into the.
I
And you
wouldn't
go,
say that.
when you go down south, all you see is NASCAR.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I always enjoyed about NNL East was the trucks.
Trucks.
There's a lot of truck building back there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I love trucks. I drove 18-wheeler for a couple of years.
You mean
They're
big
in my
rig
heart.
trucks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So to go back and see all the big commercial truck
okay.
builds,
And there's
that's
some
one of the
good
things I always
builders
like
back
about
there.
NNL East. Yeah.
That's cool. So you have your two themes. Now, you also have different awards that are given by promoters and different magazines. Is that correct?
Yes. And we don't have
Private awards.
private awards, 5 memorial awards,
Yeah.
and then People's Choice for the adult and junior. And then people vote on those.
So I know you chose NNL. And just so, without going through the whole history of it, if you're watching this and you don't know what NNL stands for, could you guys explain it?
National Nameless Luminaries.
And how that started very quickly is there was a gentleman in Salt Lake City who wanted to put on a model show using contest with famous people.
Right.
Well, it turned out to be a flop. Nobody showed up. And he wrote an article in the magazine saying he was upset that nobody showed up. So he said, the national nameless luminaries meaning famous people, just did not support my show. So that's how NNL got its name.
We know where the name came from, but what's the difference between a contest and an NNL?
Non-competitive.
Right.
You're just there to lay down your models and share with people.
In fact, there's not even classes designated sometimes, right?
No, we don't give out theme awards.
Right.
We only give out youth people's choice and adult people's choice.
Based on the people, what they vote on.
What the attendees
That's what
vote on.
people's choice means.
That's what the public votes on.
So, for instance, and I've seen this, where you can bring your 20 model collection, and one may be 20 years old and one may be finished that night. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Doesn't even have to be finished. Bring it.
That's right, huh?
Yeah.
There's a wonderful primer selection at your show.
Yeah.
That's right. You chose NNL over a contest. That's a hard decision.
I think a lot of people get scared of contests.
I ran a national contest here for about 3 or 4 years. I did the Gold Coast National Challenge. It's tough because trying to draw people to a national show, they're like, well, I don't know if I'm good enough to be there. You know, so they're very hesitant about even showing up.
Oh.
And so Gold Coast just kind of withered out because there wasn't enough people to support it.
Oh, but so when you did your first NNL, whose brainchild was it? Who?
The very first one held on the West Coast was done by a group of guys, Tim Boyd.
On the West Coast?
Yeah, Don Graham. They had a couple shows out in the valley and stuff, but they were just using, like, I think they used a hotel room one year.
Yeah.
Like just one room with beds?
Yeah, and they put tables in it.
Yeah.
But that's the spirit of the NNL.
Yeah, exactly. And then we started doing our own version of it, and we didn't want to step on their toes because they were calling theirs NNL West. We opened with NNL Western Nationals.
Okay.
And that's what we were known as for decades, was NNL Western Nationals. And then over the years, it just kind of got shortened down. It came to NNL West, you know.
And what happened to Tim Boyd and his friends? Did they just go back east, go back to Ohio?
Yeah, well, Tim worked for Ford, and so he went back to Detroit to work for Ford.
Okay.
Don's still here, and
Don Graham, right?
Don Graham. He does a show at the West Coast Customs Show in Santa Maria every year.
Okay.
We like the fact that our show is held in a convention center, and it's you have raffle prizes, and you know we went the extra yardage.
You also have guest speakers.
We used to.
Sometimes. I don't know if you have them this year.
No, not in the budget.
I've seen. Yeah, there you go, huh? We got tables instead. I know I saw Jim Keeler at your show.
Yeah. Do you remember Big Daddy Roth?
I wish I would have seen him at your show.
He showed up at one year at our show.
Ed Roth.
He just showed up. You didn't invite him?
No.
We hired him.
Oh, okay.
We hired him. He shows up in his pinstriped out Honda Civic.
I've seen him on TV shows.
Yeah.
I met him at shows and stuff. Good guy.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I haven't met him.
Yeah, he's good.
You guys have met everybody.
Yeah, a lot.
You did this because the NNLs are more popular at this now. And do you think NNLs are still more popular than contests?
I think so. I think there will always be NNLs and there will always be contests, but they're two different animals. You know, if you're a trophy hound and you need that, then you go to the contest. If you want to just be laid back and enjoy your time, then go to the NNL.
We've had a lot of people that say we're going to miss the NNL.
Oh yeah.
I said, yeah, we will too, but it's it's just time to get new people in.
Yeah, so let's hope. I know a friend of mine, Bob Wise, asked about it, and I said, call up Roy. Have you heard from him?
No, I haven't.
Okay, they run the show that's at the Sacramento Autorama.
Yes.
And they've got a pretty good turnout for an in-show show.
We know Bob. Bob's been
Yes.
good friend for a long time.
I used to run that show in Sacramento, and then Bob took it over.
Oh, really? I didn't know
I did
that.
that for several years.
You guys just run shows.
That's all we do. Yeah.
It's just like in your blood. You can't stop.
Yeah, we run the Good Guy shows 3 times a year.
How do those work?
They're pretty much just fun awards for, like, hottest hot rod and
Hottest hot rod.
So,
Coolest customer.
Lowest lowrider.
Yeah, we've been doing that for 30 years.
Where are those shows?
They're in Pleasanton, which is down the road.
They have
New
shows
York,
all over the
I think
country.
they do 20 shows a year across the country.
We used to do the whole West Coast, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we do like L.A. and here and Koala. No, Portland.
Yeah.
Portland.
Wallet.
Koala, whatever. And so that was fun. But then they got wise and they said, let's just get the local guys at each show.
Oh, because they were paying you to travel?
Yeah, they were paying us to
Nice.
travel. Yeah,
And
hotel
then you put it on your taxes.
So,
And now they put us up in a hotel to do the local show.
yeah,
That's
because he lives
awesome.
like, a couple hours away. So.
And so you guys, and are they spread out like, 4 months apart, these 3 shows?
Yeah,
March, August, November.
There's like spring, summer, and fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the turnout like at the car? I say a show within a show.
Mm-hmm.
What's the turnout like there?
Light.
Is it light?
Yeah.
In the August show, which is a 3-day show,
Mm-hmm.
we get maybe 600 models.
That's
A
light
good
to
day.
you?
Well, that's the August show.
Wow, you guys.
That's
You're
a
such
3-day
hitters.
show, though.
That's the big good guy show on the West Coast.
And that's the Pleasanton one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've been to that once at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of laid back. We try to distribute the awards because one guy could easily take 7 or 8 awards.
Oh, yeah.
We just try to split it.
There's a few guys out there that could do that. We know.
So,
And it's because they build at such an incredibly high level, and they do it super fast.
yeah.
And it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
When Grand National Roaster Show was up here, and then they moved it to LA,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't do it anymore. But Mark Townsend and I would run that Grand National Roaster Show, and it was funny because I used to have this little boy come up and bring his models, and enter in the junior class, and now that little boy's all grown up. And his little boy comes to the show.
That's so awesome.
It makes you stop and think how long you've been doing this.
You mentioned Mark. Go ahead.
One of the things that we do at Good Guys, we give away making takes to the
That's
kids.
a good idea.
And whether they build them there or they take them home. But we've seen a lot of them bring them back detailed.
Is that right?
Next
That's
year,
A lot of
awesome.
them look forward to it every time.
That's cool.
And we've seen these 7 or 8 year kids turn into young adults with amazing ability.
And we'd like to thank Auto World for helping sponsor the Make and Take at Good Guys shows all over the country.
Look right in that camera and say, thank you, Auto World.
Thank you, Auto World. We appreciate your support.
Okay, we'll flap up there. Because they still have those catalogs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a couple
Yes.
of really old ones.
Oh, yeah.
This is the stack of magazines I brought. So we could look, and because your NNL West has had a ton of coverage over the years. We know that this year it's going to be Automodeler, model cars, Fanatic. Are you shooting Fanatic this
No.
year? But are they going to come
I'm
shoot?
running the show. I don't have time to shoot.
Not anymore,
Fine
huh?
scale.
Fine Scale Modeler, Auto Modeler, Model Cars, and Dedicated.
Dedicated. That's the other one.
Yeah.
All the magazines will be there.
Bring your models. This is the one.
Bring a lot of them.
Let's fill those tables up.
More the better.
The more the better. Classic Fanatic. Who was the guy that published that?
That's just mine.
That's yours.
Mine.
Look at this. Is that it on the cover? Is that
No,
your
that
show?
was Indy.
Well, that was Indy. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was Indy.
The Hot Rod Magazine one,
Yeah,
right?
that was a blast. That was a fun show.
Scale Auto and more Fanatic. There's the green one. Street Rodder. So this show has been in almost every magazine.
Boy, that's
If
an
it-
old issue of all
Yeah.
cars.
There's that's an
that's
older
an
one. Yeah, the contest issues. So when you come to this show, you're coming to the show with the history. So
What a history.
there you go. That one.
We're going to have a table
The rest are
NNL
model cars.
history.
Oh, really? That'll be awesome. So everybody can really get the full 40-year experience.
Yeah. We went to the Toledo NNL when it was the final
Yeah.
Toledo NNL, and they had people bring stuff from each NNL around the country and set it out on the table to kind of show the history of NNL.
How cool. Now, yours has to be one of the longest running NNLs.
Probably the second longest.
After Toledo, right?
After
Yeah.
Toledo, yeah.
And Toledo was the original. Is that
So wait a
correct?
minute. Toledo, NNL East, and then us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
thought Toledo was the one
We're
that.
the largest one west of Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
You know, they had that model car Bible Belt back there. That's where a lot of them began.
That's true. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, well, you got that Ohio group, man. They were
Yeah,
prolific.
they were awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. I think we're about ready to sign off. So, Rex and Roy, do you have anything you want to say to people about coming to the final NNL? There we go,
Come
man.
enjoy yourself.
You guys did. You guys did 40 years of great work, and I, for one, this was your NNLs were the ones that got me to a show, a real show.
Yeah.
You know, where you can meet the people that you've read about for all these years, and it made a big difference in my model car building.
One of the things that we've noticed over the years is, I didn't know you guys have this every year.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, we advertise a little bit in the magazines, so,
You know,
Yeah.
but the attendance. is
got to
there.
get that article in the
You get-
San Francisco Chronicle.
We get a lot of people that say, "This is amazing."
It
We
is.
go do it again, probably next year, but this year we have to give them the bad news.
Yeah. That maybe someone will pick up the mantle.
Yeah, let's hope.
That would be really
We can
awesome.
only hope, yeah.
I mean, might not be in like a convention center, but you keep the name going.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Appreciate
your time and sharing your experiences.
Thank you.
And take care. Thank you to Rex and Roy for sharing your experience, and from me personally for bringing all us modelers the opportunity to share their works and create a lifetime of friendships. I encourage everyone who sees this to make the trip to Santa Clara, California, to be part of this historical event as the model car community sends the NNL West off into the sunset. We also want to thank Tim Boyd and Doug White for providing even more background on the history of NNLs and the history of the original NNL West. Please check out the links below. Finally, please check out Automodeler Magazine to see more great car models and learn the great stories behind them. The link to our website is also below. So you keep building the models and we'll keep telling the stories. Thank you and goodbye.